Welcome to episode 275 of Consignment Chats. Today, it is a reseller reality check. We are going to talk about what is not worth flipping anymore. We're going to save you time, money, that money mountain headache. These are the items we used to get so excited to find, and now we leave them sitting on a shelf. But of course, I got to put this out there. Sometimes things aren't always black and white. And we'll do a little talking about that too. So, girls, are we ready? Are we going to break this down and help our people out?
Yes. Break down.
Let's help them out. I'm going to start. Before I start with how we're going to break this down, I want to say, hang to the end. We've got a fun game we're going to play at the end of each thing we talk about. I got this all planned out. I'm excited. I got a game. I like games. We're going to do our best to verbalize this for our podcast listeners so they kind of get what we're looking at. But we got a game called Grab It or Leave It that I've got planned for the girls here. So I'm excited. And yeah. So, and please remember, guys, to like, subscribe, give us those 5 stars, give us your ratings. We want to hear some feedback. We'd love to share comments. And if you are watching us on YouTube, you hit that little like button. You'll get that little hype button. Give us a hype. Hype it.
Yeah.
Hype it. Hype it. Hype
If
it.
you don't see the hype button, go over to your phone. It's usually on there. Hit that hype.
Or your iPad.
Or your iPad. Yeah.
I find that usually when I like somebody's video, then the thing pops up to say hype it. Hype it costs you nothing, but it helps the girls out. So
hype it. Hype it really.
We like any support you're willing to give us.
Absolutely. So. Thank you in advance.
Hey y'all, welcome to Consignment Chats, reselling tips, mindset, and real life. Hit subscribe and let's grow together.
We know that when we got people that maybe are just starting to resell, we can talk about when we first started to resell. When you first start into this world, you think everything you find is profitable. But as you move forward, you realize a lot of times through your own trial and error that things are not always profitable.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try to help you with some of that. Of course, there's not enough time in the world to touch on everything, but we're going to kind of do like a brief by there, give you some little tips, tricks, all that kind of stuff along the way. So what I want to start with is clothing, because I think clothing, first of all, I think it's a beast. It's a beast because fashion changes overnight. What is in one day might not be in the next. So we're going to break down what we look at for clothing, what brands we used to buy like crazy. I got a lot that I used to buy, and now I see them and I'm like, wah, wah, wah.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to walk away. So let's talk about that. Tell our friends maybe a brand that you used to buy all the time that you don't buy now.
My poor husband, he sees me buy one thing and then like a year later he's grabbing them all, and I'm like, that's not a thing anymore. And one of those things is like the basic like athletic or outdoor brands like Nike and Under Armour, the North Face, like those, they're still bread and butter, but they're a lot lower dollar bread and butter. Like they will still sell if you get them new with tags or whatever. Like I have a consignor that sends them to me, but I don't usually thrift them or grab them because they're not worth it. They'll sit a little longer. They're very flooded. Yeah.
And I think we should keep in mind, like, if you look at our stores versus somebody who only does reselling versus people who do consignment, when you're doing consignment, you're likely to take a lot more lower or long tail items than you do when you're risking your own money on that item. Right? So we can talk a little bit about that too.
Yeah, like for me, Talbots and Taylor were something I picked up regardless of, size, fabric content, things like that. Now I only pick them up if they are plus size or like linen, cashmere, and the fabric is right on. Like, but the everyday pieces, not so much.
Yeah.
And that's a hard one for me because if you go into a Talbot store, it's expensive. It is expensive, but resale value just isn't there unless, like Libby was saying, it is a super special item. And over time, if you're new, don't get discouraged. You will learn over time. You will learn the higher end items versus the less. But like Libby says, and I know Samantha agrees, when I am in a thrift store in the clothing area, my eyeballs are always open for linen and cashmere. Those are two things that my eyes are
Silk.
always open
Silk.
for. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
those,
it's
and
fabric.
sometimes that can even be a lower end brand and
yeah.
still do well if it's cashmere or linen, or the pattern of linen is just something unique. So
Yeah.
and that's, you know, through trial and error you learn that over time. And I do believe trial and error is the best teacher. I think it's the best way to learn. Honestly.
Remember Chico's? Remember how hot Chico's was
Oh,
for
yes.
years? It was like we couldn't keep Chico's in stock.
Checos.
Checos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's,
And now
you know,
I
same
will
thing.
still, if it has like a cool embroidery or beaded something, like if it's funky, I'll get it. But it's got to be real funky.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or again, a bigger size, one of their, you know, like a 3.5 or 4, like
4.
Chico's. Yeah.
Which really is like an adult medium. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
They're weird sizes. Chico's is so weird.
Right. Their 4 is a plus size, which Libby and I were talking about
Yeah.
that recently. You know, when did they start making a 4?
I was gonna say, I don't even know if I've ever seen a 4. I get a lot of 2s, but
Yeah.
We have some,
So-
or we had some in our store.
we talked about consignment and stuff, and I balked when I got a consignment last year that was a bunch of Talbot's pants, and I was like, oh man, and they were petite, and I was like, ugh. Well, they were all 10 petite, and they were all like 2 styles of pants. There was probably 30 pairs of pants. They were 2 styles. They were just every color of each style. They're all the same size. I bit the bullet and listed them all, and the same buyer bought most of them because they were that size and they liked that brand. So if you can get, like, if you have consigners that bring you stuff, there's still, that's not terrible. And then also, if you could get like a whole table at a garage sale and you're like, I'll give you, $20 for the whole table or whatever the deal is, and it's a good deal that you have a low enough, great. But I wouldn't be spending $5, $6, $7 a pair at a thrift store for those, but I would grab them if they were 50 cents a piece at a garage sale. Like, that's the difference too for a lot of these. Like Patagonia, my husband brought me a Patagonia the other day, and it was a nice like fleece zip. It was nice. They wanted like $15 or $20 for it, and I was like, sorry, babe. And he's like, we always grab Patagonia, and I was like, not anymore. We don't.
It's not a thing anymore, babe.
Yeah, I do have a consigner in Colorado that, I mean, that's like the mecca of thrift over there. She can get stuff super cheap. She sends me those brands. It works out great, but otherwise I'm not jumping on that.
She's not jumping on that. I'm looking for these one pair of pants that sold. I was going to advise people that one of the good ways to know brands is, number one, TikTok fashion things. If you're on TikTok, all the tickety talk, that is a good way, if you get into the fashion people, to learn about what the new up and coming brands are, what's hot, what everybody wants, what the trends are. I mean, barrel leg jeans, still hot. I thought that would be very short. It's not. They're still a good seller. But you'll learn a lot about that if you look into that on places like TikTok, because that's where people are learning. I'm going to also shout out our friends Frizzy's Finds, because Liz is phenomenal on her videos about teaching you about brands that sell well. I have learned so many brands just from watching her video, just supporting a friend, and I'm like, so I see labels now that I normally probably wouldn't see. Although I don't say that, because I am one of those people that I look at the feel, the texture, the look, and then I look up the brand if I don't know it, because you can tell quality, you can feel it, you can see it.
And let's just give a shout out. One of our community members does sourcing by style, right? It might be an Old Navy piece. It might be, a high-end piece, but like certain styles are selling and trending right now. So if that's your thing, like you can source by style. I don't do that. It's just I don't keep up on all the trends and the styles, but that's also an option. So maybe you're not even brand specific, maybe you're not looking at the brands, maybe you're looking at the styles, and that's, something to consider, right? And we'll talk about that in our upcoming video on how to source.
Now, who are you shouting out? You said
I'm
shout out.
shouting
one of our
out why
members.
I had a hesitation there and I wasn't sure if I should, but a Billy of the Frugal Flamingo.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got to shout our people out.
Okay.
Sorry, that water went down the wrong.
I always have to think for a second, like, are they okay with this?
Yeah,
I'm sure she will be.
she doesn't mind us shouting her out. Come on.
Yeah. Go find her on the socials and tell her she needs to post more over there.
Yeah. So you got to watch out for things like outdated fashions. I mean, like we're saying, the way Billy does it. So if you know it's an outdated fashion, don't grab it unless it's a really outdated fashion and it's vintage and super cool. That's a whole nother ball game. That vintage stuff is a whole nother ball game.
Mm-hmm.
One that I have really come to love in the past year or so is the vintage 70s and 80s items. I just love when I find those. There may be an estate sale this coming weekend that has a lot of really cool vintage things, but I really shouldn't be going. So yeah. I want to remind you with clothing, if it's something you don't know, just do a quick comp on it. And don't always rely on eBay. I think Samantha brought that up recently somewhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes comping Poshmark or comping Etsy instead of eBay or along with eBay is a good way to go, because things sell differently on different platforms. And what may not sell well on eBay may sell for 3 times as much on Etsy or Poshmark.
And also, when it comes to fashion, if you're looking on eBay, you're just doing your comp in the store on eBay, and you're like, oh, there's not even that many listed. Well, that's because most clothing sellers sell things on other platforms before they list things on eBay. And so a quick Google search in that, just to see how many are out there to begin with, is usually a good thing. If there's a ton of that style and that whatever, and you might not even need to look for sold comps because you can already tell that there's way too many listed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So another one that I still pick up, there's 2 I think of that I consider probably my best bread and butter. And that's Tommy Bahama and Polo, Ralph Lauren. But again, I base it on style and pattern. That is not always, not every Ralph Lauren and not every Tommy Bahama is worth the pickup. And again, you will learn over time, and you will learn by watching other resellers and their videos where they go and what they pick up and why they pick it up. And you'll learn so much from doing that kind of self-education. We do have another channel, Thrift, Find, Flip. So we do some videos there that are us sourcing different places. So, go over there if you haven't gone over and subscribed over there and watch some of those videos, and you'll learn. We do show what we pick up and try to be good about telling why. I'm not always great about telling why, but I'll show my listings at the end of what I listed it for. But you can learn a lot from other resellers who do those kind of videos. I learned a lot that way.
Do we still have to try to figure out what all the Anthropologie brands are?
So Anthropologie, again, has become like Free People, like Lululemon. They were all the rage back then, and now they're very hit or miss. You need to know what's new within those companies and what styles are hot. Because I used to, if it was an Anthropologie brand, didn't care. I could look at a tag, not have any idea who the company was, but the style, that's Anthropologie. And now I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's Anthropologie. And Nick does what Bill does. Oh, I found an Anthropologie. Yeah, honey, that's not all that.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas 2 years ago, Anthropologie, I'd be like, put it in the cart. Right. But now I'm very specific about what Anthropologie brands I pick up. I think Tuckernuck is probably the new Anthropologie, where they sell all the different lines and everybody's totally into what Tuckernuck sells. Again, though, sometimes those are, you got to learn, and it's hit or miss, and do your education for sure. All right. we're gonna play my game real quick.
Okay.
All right.
And before we move on to talking about another type of item, we're gonna do clothing. I've got 4 items, and I'm gonna put an item up on the screen, and you're gonna say grab it or leave it. Okay, you can
All
just
right.
say it out there. All right, here we go.
Oh, leave it.
All right, tell our podcast listeners what it is and why you're leaving it.
Shein. No explanation needed. Fast fashion crap. Okay.
Yep. Bad fabric. Horrible
Bad
color.
fabric.
Yeah.
And you,
Oh
that was
my
like a
gosh.
silky looking one. I can just imagine all the pulls and the snap. Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
The runs. Yeah.
All right, here comes the next one. Grab it or leave it, girls.
Grab it.
Oh, grab it. It looks like it has a real tag. I like it. Okay.
Grab it. What? Tell our podcast listeners what it is and why you're grabbing it. I will
Right,
tell
this
you,
is
this is like a Y2K, by the way.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a Pink Floyd t-shirt, cool graphic, bright colors. It looks like it has some marks on it, some staining maybe. I don't know if that's part of the graphic or not. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. When you're
Yeah.
talking vintage band t-shirts, especially concert t-shirts with the concert schedule on the back, they can have holes in them. They can have tears in them. People don't care. They'll still pay over $100 for those kind of band t-shirts. So again, there are a lot of people out there uber knowledgeable in this department that you can learn a lot from. All right, I'm popping something up, and we just talked about this. These last 2 we've already kind of discussed, but we'll talk about it again. Free people.
Oh, so no, I'm leaving it.
I'm grabbing it.
But that's a cute style. But the thing, okay, the reason I'm leaving it, I don't like the feel. Like, it's crappy material. I don't know why Free People was ever a thing.
It's that boho look. Everybody loved the boho. So
I probably
silly.
wouldn't even notice it, because as I'm going through the rack touching things, I would probably think that it's Shein. Honestly, like, it's that's a weird. Yeah.
No,
I can see why
I
you'd
love
say
it. I would pick it up.
Also, I have too many boho dresses right now. I don't want any more of those. I don't want any more.
So, like we said before, with Free People, I will still pick up Free People. It just depends on what it is, the size it is, the style it is. So you don't turn your nose up at all of it, but that's worth taking a few minutes to do a little comping on. Or sometimes you just 100% go with your gut and trial and error. It may work out, it may not, but don't overspend on Free People as a resale item. Please do not overspend on that. All right, this is my last clothing grab it or leave it image that we've kind of already talked about. Boom, that's a Talbot's piece.
Oh,
I think I would grab it depending on the fabric content. I would probably grab it. It's double breasted.
Right.
What is it? Navy blue, brass color buttons.
I don't like jackets.
Nope. Jacket.
All right.
Or coat.
Well, Samantha's personal thing, she doesn't like to list jackets. However, I will tell you, we already talked about Talbots being hit or miss unless you're in the plus size Talbots. Those are always great to pick up. Even some of the more basic plus size Talbots are good to pick up. But that classic navy jacket with the gold buttons, if I see that in any style, lands in Ralph Lauren. Oh, that classic navy gold button it's always in style. That preppy school type thing. People
in the circles you run in. Maybe not in the circles Samantha and I run in.
They're in a lot of circles.
But no, I would absolutely pick it up.
That's a lot of storage space. I don't like photographing them. That's
Diamond's dog hairs get caught on it.
Right.
I got you. All right. Here's one of my, part of this area is one of my favorites. The other not. Plush and toys. Let's talk about plush and toys. I am not a huge plushie fan, but I do pick some up. But love me some toys. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about that.
I do not.
You do.
I get them in consignment and I will list them, but I
What
do
are-
not
Wait,
pick them up.
What are
I know what
miniatures?
Samantha. Yep, I knew what Samantha. was
Oh,
about to say.
miniatures.
And
Oh,
you
no,
give you
that's a
some-
whole separate category. Come
Oh.
on.
It's a subcategory of toys.
Toys.
No, it's
Dollhouse
a collectible.
furniture.
Collectible.
So are
It
my
also
Lincoln
is
logs.
under toys.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
right.
All
So are you.
okay. All right, then yeah, man. I'm going for the miniatures and stuff. But I don't do really I rarely even look at the plushie section. Sometimes that's one of the things that grosses me out that I shy away from.
Yeah.
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 I get that.
True.
So I Plush. I was at an estate sale a couple of weekends ago, and there was in the living room, the couch was filled with the coolest vintage plush. I mean, cool. It was like the old, like fair toys, but really old.
Uh-huh.
And they were selling them just flat out across the board, $5 a pop. And I grabbed like 4 or 5 of them that just grabbed my eye and put them in the bag and shopped for a while. But then at the end, I ended up putting every one of them back because I did stop before I bought and did a little research and was like, you know what? As cute as they are and as cool as they are, the resale just wasn't there. So that's my recommendation on vintage plush. As
I
cool
do
as
have an
they
exception
look.
with vintage plus, but I'm going to say plush, but I'm saving that for the sourcing episode.
Okay, and I wonder
Where
if
I
it's
tell
the
you
same as
what to
mine.
pick up.
Oh, I
Sorry.
can't wait that long.
I have one that I got in my hands, and it was the last one I put down, and I'm probably going to make a reel out of that one. So hold on for that one because I
Ooh.
still think I might have made a big mistake putting it back. A big mistake, but I did.
Always grab the puppets. That's all I got to
Yes,
say.
I'm with you on the puppets.
The creepy plastic face monkey that I got a few weeks ago sold very, very quickly. And I mean, it was like 20 or 30 bucks or whatever, nothing crazy. But I wouldn't have picked that up except it was a puppet. Like I always grab the vintage puppets.
And I think you always take into account, unless it is a vintage collectible piece, the wear and tear always comes into play with those. Nobody wants a grimy, grubby plush for their child. And also know your brands because you might get real excited to find a Beanie Baby. But very rarely do you want to buy that Beanie Baby. Very rarely.
Yeah.
Now, there are some out there still that are very much worth grabbing.
And I mean, that's the truth with all toy categories. There's those rare Skylanders and the rare Pokemon, whatever, and the rare. But you got to really dig and know what those are ahead of time because you're going to waste so much time just comping every Beanie Baby, wondering if it is one. Yeah.
I mean, if there's one or two, maybe look them up real quick. But remember, your time is money and try not to waste your time on things. Go to the things you know are going to bring in the money first. That's always my thing. Go to things. When I go in, I am at the handbags. I am at the shoes. I am at before I hit anything else. I'm going to the things I know are going to bring me money. So, yeah. And I just, know the trends. Know the trends. Again, do your education online. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And know the trends. Know what the kids are dying to have right now.
Literally talk to the kids around you. I never would have bought the $5 lion talking cookie jar if my niece had not said, this is a big deal on TikTok right now. These are great. She also said she wanted one, and I will find her another one someday. But I flipped that one for an extra like 180 bucks or whatever it was. So, but just from talking with my nieces, and now I talk to them a lot more. What else is on the tickety talk? What are we doing over here?
Right.
Their feed looks much different than mine. Mine's a lot of recipes and sourdough. So yeah, talk to the kids around you. Listen to what, also they'll love you more because you're listening to them. So it's a win-win.
Oh,
right.
Oh, that is
Works
a total
out
win-win.
right.
All right, I am going to pop some of these up because some of these have to do with any other information I might give you on these items. So I'm going to pop up. It's a grab it or leave it, girls. Are you ready?
Okay, ready.
All right. Mickey Safari Disney Park exclusives.
Grab
Plush.
it.
Oh, he's so cute. Yeah, I'd probably grab it. I would comp it, but I'd grab it.
Yeah.
Look at those
Yeah.
cheeks.
Yeah. So
He looks
Disney
different.
Plush, especially if it's the Disney Parks exclusive plush, are
Yeah.
worth taking the time to look up. That is not
Nice.
across the board Disney, but if that tag says parks and it's one of those exclusive, take your time and look it up. It might be
to know.
worthy.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Perfect.
Here's another one. Oh, this could be controversial. Build-A-Bear. This is
Oh.
a Build-A-Bear bunny.
Oh, I just picked up a Build-A-Bear bunny the
I'm
other
gonna pass.
day. Okay, I am also gonna pass. However, it was wearing the cutest outfit and it had the shoes and it had all the stuff. It was only a couple dollars for all of it. I turned it into multiple listings. So I knew the bunny itself wasn't the greatest, but the clothing usually does pretty well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I can see that. But I'm typically leave it, but I will comp it because there are,
Yeah.
again, there are some Build-A-Bear animals that are well
Yes.
thought out. And then the
Yes.
majority of them are meh and not worth your time. So, all right, here's another one. Squishmallows.
Pass.
Oh, I
Pass.
pass. I pass. There's
Pass.
too many of them.
2 years ago, we'd have grabbed it, like not questioned it, grabbed it, thrown it in the cart, and not thought twice about it. That trend, my friends, is done. It's over. So
I feel like it's the Beanie Baby bubble thing where that is such a sentence. If they hadn't just went gangbusters with it, it would still be a desirable thing. But you can get a Squishmallow anywhere. The dollar stores, Walmart, like they put them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, my final grab it or leave it. Jellycat.
Oh, I knew you were gonna obviously
Grab
grab
it.
it. Also, that's adorable.
It's
Isn't
so
it?
cute.
Y'all, it's a piece of toast with a sunny side up egg on it and little feet. Just if
I
you're
have
not.
such a love-hate relationship with Jellycat.
Wow.
I would grab it. Always grab the Jellycat. That has only gotten better now that they've come out with a second wave of selling them. But I think the only reason they're popular is because parents are saying, no, you can't have that $100 plush. And so kids want them even more. But
Right?
yeah.
Right? All right, I'm going to bring up another topic now that is probably about my favorite topic. Can you ladies guess what it is to sell?
These
Shoes?
boots are made for walking.
Shoes. Let's talk shoes. Let's talk shoes. Shoes, y'all. It's a visual thing again. It's a visual thing. When you are walking across a long aisle of shoes, learn what real leather looks like and what pleather looks like.
Yes.
That's where I say, because if it's something real leather, I'm picking it up and checking it out quick.
Yeah.
Now, there are brands like Lucky Brand that have real leather that are nice boots, but I'm not going to spend $7 for resale on them unless they are something special. Just like the BOCs, I will buy some of them, but I'm very specific about them. I won't buy just any. And they are nice boots or shoes in good leather, but I'm specific about what I grab. If it were up to Nick, he'd grab all of them because he thinks that they're good. And I'm like, no, it's very style specific, very.
Yep.
They're not just
Totally
going to sell, especially where most places you get them, you're paying $5 to $7. So be careful. Be careful.
I mean, I shy away from shoes, really. I get them on consignment and I sell them, but they bring me like zero joy to list, store.
Yeah.
I don't mind shipping them. They're easy to ship.
They're easy to ship.
I love everything about them except cleaning them.
Mm.
And I've become much, much better about being picky about how dirty they are versus, these will sell for 100 and something, but I do need to wash them and scrub the white and do this and do that. I used to grab them anyway because I knew the brand was a hot brand, and then regret it because I would never get to cleaning it all. And then by the time I did that, that style had come and gone, and it was a worthless pair of shoes. So I learned, again, we talk about trial and error, about learning by walking the walk yourself. I have taught myself that that is not something I'm willing to do anymore. So I think one of the biggest things if you want to be a shoe seller is to keep a close eye on the condition of the shoes. There is a reel that just went out that will teach you that even I, who love to sell shoes and have sold them for a very long time, still make some mistakes. So check out that reel that just got posted and you'll see. But do all the different shoe tests before you buy them. That
Definitely.
is my recommend. Look at the tread. There are a lot of sneaker people out there. I will pick up some sneakers, but you have to pay close attention to the tread and the wear. And I find the biggest thing about pre-owned running shoes is I'll get a lot of people, like my husband would ask, how many miles or hours have these been used? Because real runners don't want to buy a pre-owned pair of shoes, running shoes, unless they know how many miles or how many hours of wear they've had. And I don't know.
Right.
Right. You have no idea what's up in a thrift store.
I have no idea. So
for those of us living in the frozen north, we have a lot of boots, hiking stuff. I feel like hiking shoes are still doing well, but again, it depends on the sizes and the materials. So, but like I still pick up Keens. I still like for a decent enough price. Those are still pretty good flips. However, snow boots, it used to be if it had a removable liner, grab it. If it had if it was a taller one like Sorels, I don't even grab Sorels anymore. They're very mass produced now. Yep, they sit way too long for me.
Oh, I did not know that.
Especially the taller lace-up ones that had the fur around the top. I believe they're a Joan of Arcadia style one. Yeah, those you're basically giving them away by the time, at least in my experience. Yeah, I can pick them up every time I go thrifting. I see a pair of those, and I quit wasting my storage space on them because they used to sell so fast, and you could get like $60-$70 out of them real quick. And now I'm like, will someone please take these for $30, please? So yes, a lot of boot companies and stuff are putting removable liners in their boots again, so that's not such a big deal anymore. It's becoming common again. So yeah, I am real picky about comping and grabbing heavy winter boots. A lot of places are doing composite toes and steel toes, and like that's common again too. So even grabbing a steel toe or a military boot is not that big a deal anymore like it used to. I used to grab all military boots, I live near a base, like I'd grab them all. You can go to Walmart and have some pretty accessible steel toe nice boots. So yeah.
Wow.
Boots are out.
Wow. I'm glad I got my plain jumper army boots and got them sold when I did, because that was a good old sale a couple of years ago. And I probably would pick them up again, but again, I would comp them.
And make
that
sure
hiking,
on them.
Yeah, the hiking deal, the Gortcore kind of outdoorsy shoes. Another one that's been a real bust for me that I used to love is the Chacos, strappy sandals like the Tevas and the Merrills. They would fly off the shelf, and now I rarely pick them up. I did pick up one recently that was like pink with love and peace, and it had this really cute graphic. And I was like, you know what? This is a little different. These will sell. And they did. But your basic Chaco hiking sandals, outdoor sandals, they're just not reselling well for me anymore.
Oh, I just picked a few up a couple weeks ago and they've already sold.
Have they? Maybe. I don't know. Mine or not. I've still got a couple of pair that have been sitting. And I try to be real specific about size too. And I think you guys need to learn that sizing does matter. I have a cousin who consigned 2 brand new in the box Sperry duck boots with me, one wedge style, one flat style, brand new in the box. But because she's got a tiny foot, I've had them now for how many years? I mean, they're a size
Yep.
6, so they're just sitting. I mean, those small sizes can be a very hard sell.
Mhm.
So
You almost want to run comps on that size 6, but also a youth size 4, because those are, I think that's like, whatever the equivalent is,
comparable. Mhm.
because everybody, like my daughter, can get, what's that? Hey Dudes. Hey Dudes are like her. She's like, I can get the kids ones. They're the exact same style, the exact same whatever, but they're $20 cheaper. She's like,
Yeah.
so why would I do that? And I think Sperry is very similar to that. Also, if you've ever owned a Sperry duck boot, those are uncomfortable to take on and off. I have like 4 pairs of them. They're the cutest things. They're annoying.
Well,
But yeah,
now the
when
kids
you're-
just leave them unlaced and walk around with them clop, 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 and unlaced. That's the thing. So,
Oh God.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember, check that shoe front, back, do the crunch twist test so that you know it's not coming apart. All those good things. Check that tread. Watch the video and see how I messed up. Anyway, all right. Grab it or leave it, kids. Are you ready? Here we go. A new day, new tags, sandals.
Size 6.
Leave it.
Leave it.
What is a
Leave
new day?
it.
Is that like a
That is a Target brand. I
Target?
do not pick
Yeah.
up Target brand anywhere, anytime, any shape, any size. I do
Yeah.
not pick up Target brand.
Yeah.
All right, next. Hoka's.
Oh,
I
they look
grab
pretty
them.
good. I'd grab them. They look pretty good.
I look at the
No.
tread, and the
Can't
tread
stand
is all, but I would grab Hoka's. Yes, absolutely. As long
Hoka's
as
are
the
good.
tread is still good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Birkenstocks.
Oh, you gotta grab the Birks.
Grab them.
And y'all-
Kids still love them Birks, man.
They are still, I mean, those things have been tried and true for centuries, I
Yeah.
swear. They're never gonna and it doesn't even matter if the picture I just showed obviously was a new picture of Birkenstocks, but the pre-owned Birks that you can tell have been worn
Because they form to your toes and kids still want them.
they still will. I sell, if I ever get the pre-owned, they sell.
It's so
I
weird.
guess they will reform to your foot from the foot it was before. I don't know.
My daughter's
but-
like, if you wear a cushy enough sock, and I'm like, why are you wearing socks with your Birks? What is
They all
this?
do.
I
My
know.
son wears socks with his Birk.
But
But my biggest thing with Birkenstocks again is just checking the tread, making sure that
Yep.
that bottom still is got some wear and isn't too worn on the heel or
and they have those layers of the leather and the other stuff. So again, making
cork.
sure that they aren't falling or peeling, because you can't really
Mhm.
tell unless you fluff them a little. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is a big one because I just talked about this. That pair of dirty sneakers, y'all.
Oh, those look terrible. Leave it.
Don't pick up the dirty sneakers. I know you think you can fix it.
You got to put your face in the camera. We know you think you can, but it's like that ex-boyfriend that you also thought you could fix. It's going to take too much time. Too much
time,
work.
too much work, and there is a better thing out there for you. Trust me, there's a better version. There's something else that's going to make you just as much or more money and take so much less of your time. I put that in there for me, just to reiterate for myself. Now, this is a personal item that again I bought and sold. Oh, why is that coming out so blurry? What is happening? All right. Well,
Oh.
these are Chanel sandals
Oh,
with a flower on them. Unfortunately, this image is coming out blurry.
how
It
fake.
had some spots on it. It had glue stains on them, but I still bought them because they were Chanel.
I would
And
grab them if they were Chanel. Yeah.
Sweaty
even though
season.
they
Line 'em
had-
up.
even though they had the glue spots on them and they had a little damage to them, I was very clear, and they sold within like a week of listing them, and I made
Nice.
some good
They
money.
sold so fast. I didn't even know they were in our store.
You're
have
like,
no
we don't
idea.
even have
I didn't
those."
recognize them at all.
So if it is a luxury brand and there is some damage, it still might be worth picking up. I'm not going to promise you it is. Again, you need to do a little of your own work on that, but luxury brands I will pick up.
And make sure the damage is like when there's damage, that could be a sign that it is a fake or a replica. So make sure it's just wear and tear damage and not crappy material. This isn't a real item damage.
Yeah. Yes. All right. This one should be pretty quick for us. I am going to move us on to the topic of media. Buying or reselling media.
Oh, I feel like this is such a gray area right now.
Isn't it?
Oh,
isn't
it a tough one? Okay.
I think it's great for niche sellers first and foremost. I think if you want to be a bookseller and that is your niche, volume, jam on it.
Yeah.
I pick up all the old books. I love old. I shouldn't say all of them, but I love old books, and I have started buying some based on their look and aesthetic and how I can advertise them as that aesthetic than the actual content of the book. I did a little experiment the one time. I picked up some really cute mid-century modern ones. I brought them home and I was like, oh, these aren't worth anything. Like there were so many of them listed for like $10 for the set. I got them at a garage sale for pennies. So I was like, oh, okay. But they were so cute. And they had the avocado green and the vintage orange, and they had those colors. So I never even put the title of the book or the author or the none of that. I just did it based on the look, and they sold for $30 or $40. Like it was quite a bit, and rather quickly.
Very smart.
Otherwise, I shy away from a lot of books. I only get them if they're really old or if they're cookbooks.
Very smart.
So I have someone that sources media for me. So I do sell a bit of it, but she pre-screens everything. Like we get all the book sets and a video only if it's worth like over $10, if the resale is over $10. So, but other than that, I shy away from it. If I was putting the work in and doing the scanning, would not be doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm not specialized like that. When you're specialized like that, right? Like you can go through those items, you can do the volume, you can know what you're doing.
I'll tend to pick up like a sealed new kind of DVD or a Blu-ray if it's sealed, depending on what it is. But it's, again, very rare. I'll pick up a VHS set, like a series, but I do comp it ahead of time because they are not all good. So,
but they're making a comeback. So I feel like this is when we refer people to the Tickety Talk and say, watch the trends, talk to young people, because my nieces are like asking for VHS players. They want to play mom's old Disney movies that she kept for some reason. Parents are doing more stuff where they're not getting all the streaming services, they're not whatever, but the toddler still wants to watch the one show or whatever, so they're buying all those DVDs, or it's a gray area right now.
Well, and I'm glad you brought up the VHS machines, because I put that in the same kind of media thing, throw in the electronics. Be very careful if you're into electronics. Make sure you know a lot about them. Electronics are probably one of the most returned items.
I was going to say the high return rate. I do not pick up electronics at all. Just because of that, and I'm not going to test. I know myself. I'm not set up to adequately test things and even answer the questions that people have when they're buying an electronic.
Even if I plug it in and the lights come on and the thing ejects and all this stuff, I still put untested, like very, very specific, plugged in, light turned on, did not test to see if it plays, did not yes.
So we actually do have a setup to test the DVD VHS systems, because the DVD VH combos are worth money. And when I find them, if they will turn on in the thrift store or at the estate sale and they have power and the price is right, we will grab them and bring them home. And we actually have a couple of DVDs and VHSs that we keep in a drawer just to play and test it, and actually run them through in a little TV that my mom had in a guest room that is our tester TV. So
Yeah.
we did set up a little space for it because we found we were finding several of those combo units and it was worth it. And we have sold them. They are a quick seller. They are a
Did you hear
quick
that? You're
seller.
desirable, damn it. You need to sell. You need to sell. No, I think that one's a DVD recorder. I don't think it has a VHS in it, but
Yeah, it's the combos that are the
yeah.
something about those combos. So anyway, but yeah, that's another thing to know. You're gonna have to know your brands and know the proper way to research them and be able to test them, or like Samantha said, list them untested, but you will not get good value for untested.
Correct.
like
You're
you
not
do
going to
for
get the same.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also know your area. I shy away from a lot of Facebook stuff anymore, but I still do auctions in my auction group on Facebook. And we live in the middle of nowhere. A lot of people now have Starlink for internet, but that is our only option up here. If you cannot afford Starlink or you're boycotting it or whatever, we don't have internet. We don't have cable. We're not streaming anything. So a lot of people, especially summer cabins and our Airbnbs, you will get the no cell phone service, no internet. Here's your DVD. So I will do like a renter's special or an Airbnb bundle when I get those in on consignment, and I will put them up on Facebook or in the auction group, and people will grab them for their cabins.
Smart.
So,
Yeah.
Gosh, you're so smart, Samantha.
Oh, thanks.
Just
Comes
so
from living
daggum-
in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
You're just so daggum smart. All right, I'm going to move us over to random hard goods. Random hard goods. We're going to talk about those things like your kitchen items, your dishes, your bread machines, your board games, your kitty cat mug thing Samantha has in her hand. Random hard goods.
I don't know what it is either, but it's cute, and I probably never should have bought it.
Yep. All right. So things we used to buy that we don't now. Mine is Tupperware. Again, very few Tupperware, vintage Tupperware items I will pick up nowadays.
Amen.
What's another one that you maybe used to pick up in this department that you would not pick up anymore?
Juicers. A lot of those appliances used to be a big deal. Now they're mass produced. They're too heavy. They don't sell for much. They're pain in the butt. Yeah.
Take up so much storage space. Woo, Lord.
Space. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
else?
I don't pick up. Gosh, there's so much I don't pick up. What do I pick up? Miniatures and jewelry. That's what I pick up.
She's over there with all those toys she doesn't like, you know?
I know.
I
I just want y'all to understand something. Libby is talking about picking up itty bitty little things. And she's probably got more storage space than either of us combined.
I do.
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing. And I'm still, I don't know why I have that fear, but I'm thinking like hard goods, they take up so much space.
They
like,
do.
I don't like to ship them either. So I
Oh,
really just like consider that.
I have a new love over the last couple of years for hard goods. I have built so much more into my hard good department.
Now that you have a shipping manager. Yeah.
Now that I have a shipping manager and I don't have to ship it. Yeah. Boom. You buy that stuff like crazy. But I think one of the big brands is Tupperware. Pyrex is hit or miss now, it seems. There's not all it's not all that it used to be. It's still, there are patterns that will sell and sell well, but there was a time where you could get hundreds for some Pyrex, and I'm seeing that less and less. It has to be a pretty special piece to bring in that kind of money.
Starbucks or Tervis cups or any of those cups used to be a big deal. Stanley, you'd find them in the wild. Oh my goodness. Not such a big deal. I do still comp some Starbucks cups. There's some I know to pick up, but it's not because I'm getting big money for them. They're just,
easy listing, great condition, cheap prices.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'll pick up a Starbucks cup if it's a very unique pattern. It still has the straw, the lid, and somebody's selling it for $1, not $7.99, which a lot of Goodwills were trying to mark them for $7.99. And I'm like, what? That's just a little less than buying it at the store. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Same with like Tervis tumblers. If I find a box of them, which I did last summer at a garage sale, she wanted like $2 for the whole box. Yes, I lotted them up. I sold them. They were super cute. But I wouldn't have paid $5 a piece for them at the thrift store like I'm sure they would have wanted. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now,
I will tell you this
several
about
years
Tervis.
ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will tell you this about Tervis. If you can find the vintage sets of Tervis in the box, even the shorter vintage cups, there's like the nautical, the fly fishing.
Those were the ones. They're
Those
hideous.
sell, and they sell fast, and they sell for good money.
And they are hideous. They're like, they took like a patch for like a Boy Scout shirt and they stuck it in a cup in between the walls, and they were like, these are nautical themed. And I'm like, what in the world?
Those are the original Tervis. When I grew up on
hideous.
Hilton Head, that was the thing. When we would go sailing, all of our friends, you knew you were in the right sailboat if they had the nautical Tervis tumblers. That was like you were in the right sailboat, right? Like they were such a thing, and they are now. If you can find any of those, like I say, the fly fishing lures in them, the nautical,
the
Korean, any of those that are the vintage, especially if they come in the full set box, that's you grab them.
I did not know that. I didn't know anything about Tervis tumblers.
I thought I was just doing real well with these ugly things, but okay, yep.
All right. I'm going to move us on to the grab it or leave it of the rando items. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Podcasters, we will do our best to keep you in this. Ray Dunn coffee mug.
Leave it.
Here's another one, y'all, that used to be hot. And it is not anymore. Ray Dunn is not.
Well, I'm going to say leave it before you even show it now.
Right? If you do want those, there's a lot in my Goodwill right now. What in the world?
Glassware. Let's talk glass.
Well, not those ones. What mold is going on with those ones? I don't know about that.
That was my random picture of just clear glass.
They looked like plastic miniatures, and Libby would definitely be picking those up. She'd be
if they were plastic and tiny, absolutely.
Right?
All right, we did just talk about this Pyrex. I would pick that up because of the color scheme, and I have a family member that's collected them. The pink and the turquoise blue.
Cute.
I would actually leave it.
But you got to know. You got to comp.
Recently.
You got to comp. You got to comp the Pyrex, and it's got to be the right price.
It's got to be the right price. The prices that they are putting on these things. But if you find the right patterns and you find them, like, you could still find them at the bins. You can pull a rural squirrel and find them at the bins. But
all right, here we go. Cast iron skillets.
Oh,
I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to deal with it.
I'm also
grab them.
No. So you need to watch my videos on Thrift Find Flip. So I grab them because I cook with them in my home and out on my fire and when I'm camping. So like I can't have enough good cast iron. However, the resale value. My husband picked up a Lodge the other day. We paid like $8 for it, and I was like, "Yeah, babe. If we can't use it, we'll sell it. Good job." Lodge sells it on their website for like $20. And I started looking through the Lodge website, and I'm like, why is everything so cheap? And I was talking with Jill, and she's like, yeah, it's really went down over the years. And I'm like, holy cow, so cheap. The money that I was putting in to buy myself brand new Lodge items a couple years ago, ridiculous, because it's quite cheap comparatively.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think I would leave it unless I needed it for my personal collection.
Talk about bursting the bubble. Jeez.
There are some
Molly
now,
just like totally popped over there.
Now,
I still may grab it if it's a vintage brand.
If you find like a vintage diamond pan, and you guys know what I'm talking about, if you know what that diamond pan is, that thing will still. I've watched them go for hundreds and hundreds at auction, and I just drooled over it. But yeah.
All right. We talked about this. Bread maker. Are you buying that electronic kitchen gadget?
Leave it.
Please,
however, for the love of God, leave it.
However, if there are manuals for them, I will take those. I will sell those. But
right? Easy listing, easy storage, and people do buy those manuals, man.
Yeah.
All right, you are at a yard sale and you see this awesome box for $3 filled with random wires, chargers.
Gross. Leave it.
Oh,
Leave it.
leave it. I have 10 of those at home.
I don't know the resale value of any of that, but God, no.
All right. You are at the Goodwill and they have a bag of random jewelry
Woo!
for $20. Are you going to buy it or leave it?
For
Grab
$20?
it?
I'm gonna grab
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna grab it.
Can I get it for 10? I'll grab
No,
it for
they're
10.
normal.
You are
Normally
not
50.
at a yard sale. You are at the Goodwill.
I'll make you a deal. All right, fine. $20. I'm leaving it.
There, that's all I needed
Oh.
was an answer.
$20 is a good deal. My Goodwill gives the crappy ones for 50.
Would you pick up a $20 random grab bag at a thrift store?
Nope. Leave it.
It
Me either.
depends on the store.
I
feel
wouldn't.
I feel like there's some nicer consignment stores and thrift stores that I've been to that are nicer, but it really depends on the store.
I would buy a jewelry jar in a heartbeat, but not a random bag like that. I would buy one at a yard sale if kids were doing it, or it was like a fundraiser thing, and it was like to keep kids happy or to go to a fundraiser, but
To
not
keep
not
kids
random.
happy.
That's also why I
No,
buy all the
like-
donuts and the cookies.
And
Yeah.
why I buy their
Yeah.
lemonade and then walk to the other side of the car and dump it on the floor.
It's
'cause I'm
never
not
good.
taking it.
It's never good. No.
Will you buy it if it can or needs to be fixed?
Profits over projects, people. No. No.
If you can't, if it needs fixing, run. Actually, don't walk, run.
Unless that's your business model.
Unless you have a bill and a gun cleaning kit, because he can get in. So like battery compartments, like I get like the vintage like game consoles and stuff like that, like the individual games. And so many people are like, oh, it's broken, or oh, it's usually just a corroded battery compartment, and you can fix that.
Okay.
So maybe I have sold some things that have been given to me because they're broken for hundreds of dollars. So yeah.
All right. Large workout equipment. Are you grabbing it or leaving it?
Oh my God, leave it.
I think I hear Diamond barking. All right. Furniture, large pieces of furniture. Are you buying them, grabbing them, or leaving them?
Libby's
know I
looking at
should
that
leave
like,
it,
look
but I'm
at
gonna
that
grab
wood.
it.
That's a
I'm-
really, really nice piece.
I know, but I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it.
I would also leave it because
All
I
right.
don't have the room for
Now, and I will tell you this, on that exercise equipment, if it were a Saturday at a yard sale and it would fit in my car and it was something good at a good price, I would grab it and immediately take it to Play It Again Sports and sell it to them. So I wouldn't bring it to my house.
I exercise like home exercise equipment. at Play It Again
Yes,
Sports?
yes,
No way,
yes.
I
I
did
would
not
just
know
take it.
that.
I would take it from point A to point B and never bring it here. So
If you live in the middle of nowhere like me and point B is 3 hours away, don't do it. Don't do it.
all right, and then grab it or leave it. Our last item, Samantha, WTF, what is this?
Oh, I still don't know if I should have grabbed it, but I left it. All right, so that is a automatic electric knitting machine. And that is a current listed price, and there was one, not the 80, but it was a Duomatic for $50 at my Goodwill. It was so
really?
heavy, and they are so long. Like it's like 5 feet long, and it would have taken 2 people just to lift the top part. It came with multiple boxes full of accessories in the stand, and it was all metal. And I left it because I believe that I don't need heavy stuff, and it would have cost a lot to ship. And the buyer would have paid, but like I left it. I don't have the storage space.
I would have left it. But if I grabbed it, I probably just would have sold the accessories.
Well, that was the other thing.
right.
Like, but the accessories did comp very well as well, all the different pieces. But then there's that one big piece that, I don't know.
All right. All right, y'all. So I am hoping that you guys learned something. And I want to know in the comments, we want to know in the comments something that you stopped picking up if you have been reselling for a while, or something you learned today, because I learned some things today myself.
Yeah.
Let us know that. We want you to keep in mind time, right? When you're looking at items, storage space, we talk about this all the time. I will say people talk about sell-through rate. You want to look at that potential profit on an item. I am not good at looking at sell-through rate. I should get better, or I'm going to have to build a tiny house in my backyard because I have no room, because I don't pay attention to sell-through rate.
Maybe 2 or 3 tiny houses.
Maybe
One of
2 or
them's
3
mine.
tiny houses.
Yeah.
So think about that shipping complexity that we just talked about. Like, you don't want to ship those larger items, then don't buy those larger items. Take all of these things into account. Take your burnout into account. Take the things that bring you joy into account. All those kind of things when you're looking at these things, right?
Amen.
You know, when you're picking things out and think
Testing,
about all that good stuff.
Mhm.
Easy to ship products, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Items with strong comps that a lot of people want, the in-style hot items that you learned about on, as Samantha would say, the tickety talk. There you have it. Now we got all our listeners are now big TikTok fashion people. They're like, yeah,
Tickety
you
talk.
tell us.
Go check out Frizzy's Fine. She'll hook you right up.
Yeah, Liz will keep you posted. You'll know what's what, man. She will educate you for sure on the fashion. So, all right, let us know in the comments. We're dying to hear something you stopped selling. Apparently, I stopped selling more than I realized, I'm gonna stop selling more.
Libby doesn't sell anything anymore, apparently. So I don't know. That's
Right. I will tell you,
clean.
my biggest focus lately, I have 2 categories. I have one is my resale, the margin. What's it going to sell for? I want it up there. I want it to be a high selling item. Or 2, I love to list it and it brings me joy. Yeah. So I have the one category that's not as much on what I'm going to make off of it, and the other category. And I feel, because those are they balance each other out.
I was going to say, one is like a really good business model and one is a terrible business model, but you're really good at both of them, so it evens out.
It's working. It's working. Yeah.
You interrupted
all right, ladies.
your own.
I did. I interrupted my own closure. I was.
You trained her well, Samantha.
Our evil plan is working.
Oh, okay. Anyway, ladies, until next time, let's give it a big cheers.
Thanks for being here with us on Consignment Chat. Find everything we do at consignmentchats.com and stay connected with us by subscribing wherever you listen or watch. We'll see you next time.